with my fiance just in front. She brakes early, we try to go towards the inside, lose the car, spin around and apologize to her because that wasn't what I wanted to do. Hello everyone, welcome to Circuit Park Berghem, where we're here for our final heat, the third heat of this day. We just have to wait for another line of cars to go. Quite a lot of people on track this session, so that's gonna be a lot of fun as we now go out. And we do have a little bit of a drier track. It's wetter than session 1, but it's drier than session 2. Although with this amount of cars on track, maybe we can dry it out a little bit, but I'm not hopeful for that as we have a lot of people in front. My fiance was starting behind me, so we're probably gonna look to overtake a lot of people. I do want to record her a little bit, so I am going to try to stick behind her a little bit, have some fun, and then try to also set some quick laps, just looking behind how she is doing. She's really taken well to this track and is on track to get a good lap time and get quite close to my lap time, which is incredible to see at her third session in the wet and only her first day in the wet here. She's doing really well as we now let some people through, still waiting for her. She is of course taking her time as we now see someone that is going off track here. It is still quite tricky, but I will try to keep the car on track as much as I can, because of course you have seen me go off track quite a few times and I'll at least make one mistake as you have seen in the intro. But if you want to see if I can stay on track, you should stay tuned as you have two people there on the left. So they also have probably had a crash actually, because they looked like they hit each other facing the wrong way, the both of them, as we now come onto the straight. But we tried to take too much speed, go very wide, almost into the tires there, just managed to save it looking behind where my fiance is. I can't quite find her, but we'll still wait for her as we go very slowly through this left-hander here, making sure we're not in the way of anybody, just looking behind, making sure it's a clean move and that we're clean in the racing. And as we go through the right-hand hairpin here, actually we look behind my fiance there spinning and then someone else spinning right beside her, just copying her lines. We clap in our hands. It was quite funny to have that on camera, and I'll still be waiting for her. It might take a little bit, so I might actually set 1 or 2 quick laps and take a long lap and wait for her that way. Then we can both set quick laps and also have some fun together. Really want to capture some footage with my fiance when I'm on track with her. It's just fun to stay close together, so you can see me going wide still through the left-hander here, just trying to wait a bit, but that gap is quite big, so it will take quite a long time to wait. So you can see me now speeding up a little bit. Maybe if I go for a quick lap, a few quick laps, then we can catch her the other way around. But because my fiance is actually quite quick, that actually won't really work, because our lap times will only have about 4 seconds in between them, and that would mean I'd take more laps than I have this session. We have 8 laps again. That would take longer to catch up than we have time to set laps, if you understand what I mean. As we now go through the right-hander onto the straight, actually making another mistake going wide, this time less wide though, and we'll start a flying lap. We'll take more speed, we'll try to set a quick lap and then wait for my fiance afterwards. This is going to be quite a decent lap into the 1 minute 23s. It's not going to be my quickest lap, and it's coming on lap 3. We'll enjoy that with some music again. I really enjoy doing that with this series, and afterwards we might talk a bit more through it, but for now we're just taking our lines, doing everything we can and trying to set a quick lap here. Did have a little bit of traffic on the right-hander. We were very careful not to hit them. We're on the wide line on the left, but when we brake, luckily it doesn't cause us any trouble, and the right-hander quite clean, now taking more of the wet racing lines, and you can see that is definitely better than taking the dry lines. And I'm definitely gonna need this experience because I'm doing a DRS, a Dutch racing series, 3-hour endurance with a friend of mine and someone you haven't met on the channel. It's gonna be with Samuel from the Smeedweg and with Oma Bas. You don't know him, he also has a YouTube channel. I'll link him when we go to those places and get to those videos. But it's gonna be a very wet race, even wetter than this. It's gonna be a very bad race for me, but we're still gonna try to do everything that we can and have a lot of fun there. It's gonna be quite the experience, but for now we're going on to my fastest lap, so you'll have some fun to look at that lap with the music, and I'll be back right after. So there we go, 1:29.929, the quickest lap I will set this session, and I'll wait for my fiance, so this lap will be very slow. It's gonna be slower than 2 minutes, but of course that's on purpose, as my fiance will then also set her quickest lap, as there is on both our lap 5, and because we're close it's the same lap, so we might be just behind her or just in front, showing her the lines. I'm not fully sure yet in the video, don't quite remember, so we'll wait and see, and you'll have to wait and see, and then I'll tell her lap time, tell her how great she did and what the gap was in the end. My fastest lap today, of course, not this session, a 1:22.6 in heat 1, as we now go through the racing line a little bit, trying to get a little bit of temperature into the tires. Probably not going to work with these temperatures, but it's still fun to have a little bit of a spin and actually spin the car around here on the apex. We make a bit of a mistake trying just to see where the grip is. It's really interesting, and I can actually learn quite a bit from doing these weird maneuvers, just feeling where there's more grip, where there's less grip. So it does look a little bit silly, and it's not going to generate any temperature. It is going to be quite useful information, as we make sure to not be on the racing line too much, especially if we know someone is coming. Just a little bit of weaving here on the straight just for fun. And as we're waiting for her, I do have a question for you guys watching. If you have been karting, you've been outdoors, what's your favorite outdoor track? As we now are passed by my fiance, so we're gonna go on throttle, make sure we are close, but answer my question in the comments, guys. What's your favorite outdoor track? I'm very curious if it's one I've been to already, and if not, I'll try to go there if I have the time. But now sticking behind my fiance, she's gonna go for her quickest lap, making sure she does have a good exit onto the straight. I don't, so she will actually gain some time here, and her quickest lap is underway. The lap she's on now is gonna be a 30.7, not that great, and now we're just right behind her, looking how she's doing into her lap 5 and into the first right-hander. She brakes a little bit earlier than I am, so I do close up, but she has a great line into the left-hander here, and on the exit there she gets a better application of throttle, but we're still right behind her onto the right-hander now, making sure to not make any bold moves. She does go very wide on the racing line, almost off track, and we're now almost side by side. I just wait on throttle because I want to stick behind, and at the end of the straight that does mean she has quite decent speed, a little bit more than I do. And going into the right-hander here, she does stick outside line, good racing line there in the wet, a bit of oversteer though on the exit, and through the left-hander a bit more on the racing line, veering off of it. I have some understeer, and she's doing really well. As we're now halfway through the lap, a few more corners to go, we do try to close up. The gap has been quite big actually, especially because in the first sector we were close, but through the left-hander we managed to get quite a bit closer, and through the right-hander here carrying a little bit more speed still. My fiance doing really well. 2 more corners to go, the penultimate corner, which is a very tricky one, and actually she is managing to stay on track, something that I struggle with myself. I often go wide, so good to see the line. She's taking a great exit as well. Now through the final corner onto the straight we carry a bit more speed. We end the lap a bit closer than we were before, but a 1:25.585 for my fiance, so that is really well done from her, and it's only about 3 seconds slower than I set in my best session, so that is very good for her. As we accidentally now look to the inside, we brake a bit later, hit her, and apologize by putting up the hand. Just a bit of a mistake from my part, didn't expect to be later on the brakes and just kinda spun out there. But like I said, only 3 seconds between me and my fiance, which is really very good for a first time karting in the wet, and she's very good on throttle, very good with her foot, and making sure she can get a great exit even in these tricky conditions. So definitely very proud of her. We have 2 more laps, and as my fiance actually has spun there on the exit of the left-hander, so she's not impervious to mistakes. We both make them, and that is fine. It happens as we now kind of put our hand up. I don't fully know why. I think it was she didn't know where to brake and steer in for that specific corner, so I tried to show her, but it is very difficult. That left-hander very tricky, and now we go. We have 2 more laps to go, lap 7, lap 8, and then we're gonna be done already with these videos at Berghem for now. We're gonna go back to Team Sport Utrecht, and we're gonna try not to struggle as much as we did last time. But for now, 2 more laps to go, like I just said, going through the final corner, trying to take speed again and again, washing very wide, going onto the AstroTurf curve at the end, almost getting into the barrier, looking behind if my fiance is still there. She's not. I kind of want to show her the lines. Maybe she can go a second quicker, and then the gap would only be 2 seconds. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work out for either of us, as we're gonna be quite a bit slower on our own lap, and my fiance will get quite close, but not close enough to get a new personal best. So that means it's going to be the end for now for quick laps. Just trying to have some more fun here, like I've been trying to do this whole session, because that's what it is about. It's not only about being the quickest on track, and actually I've not really been the quickest on track all day. There have been quite a few regulars here today that have been quicker every session, which is fine. It's unfortunate that we kind of couldn't follow them and couldn't stick behind, learn from them. Still, I think I did a decent job here, and we're now on to the final part of lap 7, on to lap 8. My fiance will probably be just behind me. I'm trying to time it well so she can follow me. It's just not quite working out. I'm trying my best here. It is difficult to time these things, as you need to be on throttle at a good part, as we now have someone right behind us that wants to overtake. So we're gonna point him to the inside of the penultimate corner, making sure we're not in the way. I believe my fiance is now the person right behind me. It's a little bit difficult to see. I point like, let's go together, let's try this at a quick lap, go on throttle, make sure I don't go as wide as I have been going. On to the final straight. Here we go, final lap. Looking behind me, I can't quite see my fiance. She might just be in an angle, I can't quite see her. Going into the first corner, making a mistake though, going very wide into the grass and into the dirt, and that is a bit unfortunate. I can't show my fiance the lines if I try to go too quick, and that is gonna be the end of the session. We of course will finish this lap, but that was not the way I wanted to end this day at Berghem. It was a lot of fun, it was a lot of wet though as well. Can see me just still be a bit annoyed by myself, which is fine. And actually we have my fiance there on the left. She's facing the wrong way, so she also made a mistake on her final lap. That is a part where I have been stuck before in the second session. Actually, if you haven't seen that, go watch it. I was stuck there, and now my fiance is stuck there, so that is kind of funny. But now we enter the final part of this lap, and this is where I'm gonna say goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching this video. I really enjoyed filming this series. If you enjoyed this video and the karting at Berghem, then please leave a like on the video, comment again what your favorite outside track is if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel for the upcoming races in Genk and also the 24 hours of Lelystad, and of course a lot of videos still coming, and I'm recording new videos as we speak. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week as we now go across the line. Thank you guys, bye bye.